So, this is my first video on this channel about Bitcoin. Go to bitcoin.org and you can see Satoshi's white paper. And it says right in here, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, abstract. A purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. And that's the whole key. Satoshi does not like banks. You don't like them at all. The whole point of Bitcoin is to get around banks. And famously, his Genesis block had an anti-banker and anti-inflation message. I believe that most of the world's real serious problems the last hundreds of years has been from central banking. Evil people figured out how to inflate currency, paper currency, and then when we got computers, they figured out a way to make it even more unnoticeable with digital. I did a paper back in 2000, Median Society class, and my final was about Y2K. At the time, 97% of all money was digital. That's 1999. So it's got to be 99+% of the money is digital, because when you go to get a lot of cash out of your bank, sometimes they'll tell you, we don't have it, we have to order it. They'll ask you all these reasons why you want it, treating you like a criminal for wanting your money out. Because when you give your money to the bank, you are no longer seen as the owner of that money. Your money in the banking system is considered a loan to the bank. And if things get rocky, based on laws passed after the 2008 global financial collapse, they can bail in your money in America, all over the world. So if your country allows bail-ins, they can just take your money, like they did in Cyprus. They did that to Cyprus in the fall of 2013, and that's when I bought my first Bitcoin. I had been watching Max Keiser on the Keiser Report for a long time. He used to be a silver guy, and so I liked his arguments, so I bought silver. After 2011, he moved to Bitcoin, and I didn't. I was watching though. In 2013, I bought my first Bitcoin as protest, bought it on Coinbase. Yeah, obviously, I don't have all that now. I traded in and out of it because it was a protest, and then I saw that it would go up. And so Bitcoin is, it's definitely a lesson. I wish I had my old Bitcoin. But I do save Satoshis here and there. I'm at a point where I can only save Satoshis. I can't buy a whole Bitcoin. It's been kind of for rich people. A whole Bitcoin's been for rich people since it hit 5 figures. The average American does not have $1,000 for emergency expenses. They certainly don't have 10,000 back when it was 10,000, and they certainly don't have 40-something thousand. And now that the spot Bitcoin ETF is going to be available, a bunch of people that weren't allowed to own Bitcoin because they wanted to put in their retirement accounts or their company, and they had to buy securitized products, now they'll be able to buy the Bitcoin spot ETFs, and then once they give that money over to the custodian, that company will then have to go buy actual Bitcoin. So just bear in mind, Satoshi's vision, a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. Satoshi hates banks, so the banks are now getting involved in these spot ETFs. I don't like that. I want people to, self-custody and, just get these usurers out of our lives. But the world does not exist for my pleasure or my understanding. I've tried reading the Bitcoin white paper. I mean, I can't follow it. This is beyond me, and I'm kind of lazy about it. To me, it's like, does Bitcoin work? You can look at the references. It's 9 pages. Satoshi, if he's a person, or she's a person, he or she's a genius. If it's a group, they're still genius. All aspects that you need for Bitcoin to work, you have to understand how the NSA works, so you can stay hidden, right? Not get tortured to death because you created the thing that can destroy central banking. I think the key to Bitcoin is, I'm kind of all over the place on this video, but the key to Bitcoin is, as they inflate, right? Just think of this as your local national currency. As they inflate supply, they reduce the value of the existing supply. So you're steadily declining in purchasing power. Because Bitcoin is steady, right? It's got scheduled inflation. And every 4 years, the stock to flow of new Bitcoin is cut in half. So you get the supply shock, which is why we get these huge price surges. We have a halving coming March or April of 24. Today is January 9, 2024. The spot ETFs are going to be approved soon, and it's going to open up a wall of money. To quote Rao, I forget his last name, Rao Paul or something like that. A lot of money's coming into Bitcoin because it's the most honest money there is. And all Bitcoin is, it's just a ledger. It's a ledger that records movement of itself from one address to another. And it records all of them in a block, and every 10 minutes it's synchronized. And every node that runs a copy around the world syncs, and that's how you know all the Bitcoin is real. Everybody gets a copy. There's all these mathematical programs, and every 10 minutes a block is mined and new Bitcoin is created. It has a difficulty adjustment algorithm. It has a fixed supply at 21 million. So it's beyond scarce. It's fixed. It's fixed. It's not scarce. You can't find more of it. It's fixed. It's finite. And it's the most honest money there is. You can't send Bitcoin if you don't have Bitcoin. The nodes will spot you, and you won't be approved. It's never been hacked. I think it was only down a little bit when they did the block wars and Bitcoin Cash forked off. There's Bitcoin, and then there's a bunch of things that have used the blockchain, and they are all called crypto. But Bitcoin is by itself. Crypto is something else. And I believe in Jesus, and I believe in Bitcoin. I believe a lot of people have been praying about money for hundreds of years, and Satoshi, he, she, they, it, whatever, was divinely inspired. I really do believe that. Bitcoin solves these central bank debt schemes, and it's great for humanity. And those Bitcoin spot ETFs, they're going to open up access to a lot of people who couldn't get it or weren't comfortable. And it'll be easier to hold it, but it'll be held by banks. And Bitcoin was designed so that you didn't have to use financial institutions. And we could do peer-to-peer transactions. Thanks for watching.